You get about 3 5-minute tops each team. So who wants to go first? Oh, and there's a microphone right here for the video camera. And so there are 2 folks in the back recording this, just so you know. Who wants to go first? Come on, don't be shy. You.
Right now, we have I think it's a copy of one of the other apps that is in this RHoK hacking society, and we have to fine-tune the idea a bit. We have already a prototype in an Android prototype, and we have made some graphics, and we thought about a good concept, but now we found out it's a copy. So we have to fine-tune the concept a bit, but we are thinking a bit about making the app a charity. So if you buy this app, you can select which organization to donate money to. But some ideas we're working with. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay.
Thank you. Yep. Next.
We are from the 8 evaluator team, and if you remember, that's the big site containing all the information, so it's going to be kind of like a big Wikipedia with some extra entries about it. We are divided in 2 workforces, one taking the structure of the site and one taking the design. And both groups are actually quite far along, and we will have something to show for it tomorrow. The implementation phase is actually going exactly as we want to, and all the features like integration with the Google Maps and forums and stuff like that we're gonna implement is going quite well. So we are not required to have any extra skill sets, but when we do, we will be sure to come and steal some of your expertises.
But otherwise, we decided to work in Drupal, right? We're still at that stage.
Yeah. The first thing was, of course, designing the phase and seeing what the future was for the project. And we decided it would be best to make it in some sort of administrative. So we're going to make it in Drupal and just incorporate some Wikipedia into that.
And you can go into the single disaster, and we try to aggregate a lot of information about that disaster. So that could be tweets and YouTube videos and Flickr images, and try to put all the information in one place. So maybe it's even useful if workers can get localized information like tweets and images. We're doing it in Ruby, and right now we don't need any skills that we don't already have, but if we do, like the other group, we'd be sure to come knock on the door.
We're working on something called connectivity mapper. So the idea is you arrive in a catastrophe area, and we have a lot of existing infrastructure for cell phones that may or may not work. So we want to map this as fast and efficiently as possible. So we are trying to develop an Android app that will periodically test what works, where I am, what signals do I get, and your location. And then when you have connectivity, of course, you'll send that to a server, so you get a map of what works in this area, what communication can we use. So far, we've been having a lot of technical problems. I think we have the Android build environment stuff working on 3 out of 4 computers right now. We have one computer with Ubuntu that has some problems with its standard library. So if anybody's an Ubuntu expert and can use like 10-15 minutes to fix that, that would be great. I think we're at a point where we can actually start developing Android stuff right now. If we have any Android developers who would like to help us, we'd like that, but it's not, I think we'd figure that out ourselves. The final thing is the cell phone stuff. There's a lot of technical terms like CIDs and LICs for these towers that we don't really know what means. So if anybody's a cell phone expert, we'd really like your help too. So Ubuntu experts and cell phone experts mostly. Third place Android experts, if any of those are around.
All right, cool. So anyways, the Coding for Charity project, a great project, which is trying to bridge the gap, so to speak, between the NGOs, nonprofits, and the developers, and try to help facilitate some of the projects that we hope are lurking out there in the NGOs. And also try to feed ideas, as been said previously, into the events that are going on, the actual live events, so that they can have a catalog to work on. We currently have a mock-up. We're basing it on a custom framework built by Jonas, and it's a PHP based, and it's a combination of that and WordPress for the presentation part of the website. And we're trying to get the developers going, and we have a debate database that we're building, and so I think we're progressing pretty nicely at this point, right? We don't really feel at this point that we need something, but if we do, we'll be sure to tell you. So thank you.
Okay, we're working on the Danish Red Cross project, building a system for mapping all their data when they're working at catastrophe sites. And we've divided our team, which is, hands please, all these guys and these guys, of course. We divided into 2 different groups. One group working on the part of the program that's used in the field, and one part that's working on what is used in the base camp for the administrators of the whole process.
The coordination of the combined effort,
Yeah.
basically. It's a field with a lot of interests, a lot of people sharing data, not everybody needing everything, so that's kind of a lot of design decisions we have to look at there. So that's basically what we need to do now, and we're gonna do some prototyping now. We just got finished with the initial process of understanding the whole field. That took quite some time, but I think we got it now and are ready to work.
And the main idea is basically that we keep it as simple as possible and as alike to the current solution as possible, because we've been told that they don't really like using the computers. That obstructs their work, of course. So it's going to be quite simple. We're working with a simple HTML web prototype, and we just have some technicalities, like we need to synchronize when they get back instead, so there's no online connection, and like the previous group talked about. And yes, that's basically it.
Yeah, we don't need anything specifically right now, but we might later. So when we start working on the actual technical prototypes, we might need some help.
And we're working on the UNICEF medical warehouse project, where we work on trying to connect suppliers of medicine with NGOs and hospitals in the third world. And how far are we?
We had the meeting with the case owner like in 2 hours to actually confirm that the requirements are set in place as we thought they are. We had the data model up and running. We decided for the platform. It's the Microsoft stack and SP MVC. So far, we are still on this data level and trying to get the first scenario in place.
We divided our team into 2 task force, one concentrating on the back end and another on the front end, and it's a web-based project.
We are on the merit page project, which tries to utilize social networks in order to find donations for companies. We try to match users with potential companies. We have a very, very well-defined problem. We have a almost functional website, but the website needs to be upgraded to use a new Facebook API. So we need some Facebook developers.
Yeah. So that's pretty much code. We have tried to get an overview over, but it has taken some time. But yeah.
So any PHP Facebook developers?
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, I'm working on the project. I suggested where you could calculate how many trees you have to plant to offset your CO2 level use. And I started with some brainstorm with a couple of people who come in to our office, and we talked about it could be a good idea to have on Facebook, where you could compare with your friends how much they need to plant, and like that. So So I decided a Facebook application would be nice, and then I read up some stuff on how to make Facebook applications, and if anyone have experience like before, it could be a great help. And then I made some estimates, or looked up some data, some estimate of how many trees a typical person should plant, and there was different estimates. The lowest was 150 trees, and the top was 10,000 trees. So we have to. So I have made a Hello World application right now. So I have to expand it.
Well, UNICEF Part 2. As you remember, it's about vaccine delivery, tracking, and temperature control. Yeah, would the team please put the hands up? First thing we did, we divided ourselves in 3 subgroups. One dealing with the device, a new device. I'll come back to that later. The other with data exchange and syntactic things about protocols, and the third about visualizations and getting all the information gathered in a central server, let's say. What we would need to really excel would be hardware developers, really hardcore developers, because a new device, as we agreed on it, would have to not only measure temperature, but have some onboard GPS and GSM systems, so that it would be able to send out information as well. We probably won't get that that part done this weekend, but anyway, we will surely come up with some nice simulations where we can show you how the different parts of our project or the different stations communicate with one another. Did I forget anything, my team members?
Any other teams, people that haven't been represented? No? All right, excellent. That was 20 minutes. You guys are awesome.